Dean, my friend, it has been a while, my brother. Welcome back to the show, man. It's great to have you joining us, man. How's everything been going, brother? It's been a minute. What's been up?
Been a while. Doing great, dude. Doing a whole lot of not playing shows and a whole lot of not doing nothing, raising my daughter during this pandemic.
Interesting. Well,
But
did you also become a teacher during that time? Because I know so many parents with kids at home had to assume the role of math, science, English, and social studies teacher. Did that fate befall you as well?
well, here's what we're working on here. We're working on colors and our ABC. She's only two. She's got that shit down. I'm telling you, she's good. She's good.
Wow.
She can do her ABC. She's 2.5. So I've had fun. Like normally, like I'd have been on the road so much of her young life that was kind of a cool blessing, silver lining out of this whole thing, being able to spend some time that I wouldn't normally would have been able to.
Absolutely, absolutely, and Collective Soul though, as far as concerts coming back and things like that. You guys were kind of playing shows a few months ago. What was that like? Kind of, you guys were kind of on the forefront of getting of the return to rock, as I've called it. I mean that was pretty cool. What was that like? Kind of being kind of at the beginning of all this, coming back and playing shows.
It was great. We played 3 shows in Atlanta, as our hometown, and they did like the social distance. They kind of blocked off, sold tickets in fours or whatever procedure that they felt was safe, for everyone. But my brother and I were backstage before the show, and I'm like, "What is this funny feeling? I think I'm nervous. I haven't felt nervous in like 15 years. This is like the longest stint we've gone without being on stage. But it was so much fun. It was a blast. Looking forward to doing it again. It's been such for everyone, and such a crazy year, sad year, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's getting back to
yes,
some kind of normalcy.
That is the case. And for you guys heading out on the road this summer first with our good friends from Styx, we have Lawrence Gowan joining us on this very podcast that will air coming up here as well. So some Styx representation and now Collective Soul. Now this is a pairing that I never would have drawn out of a hat, but Dean, here we are. I'm excited for it. You guys are going to be here in Missouri for 2 shows. How excited are you going to be to go out on the road with Styx for a few shows, man? This is great.
Oh, we love it, man. Huge fans of those guys, and we've had the good fortune of becoming friends with them over the years. We've played some shows, and we've never done a tour together, but there's been like one-off festival dates and stuff like that, and I've seen them on my own. So and we've just been, like I said, like become buddies. Like Tommy and my brother Ed became really close. Ed sang on one of Tommy's solo records a few years back.
That's right.
Tommy sang on backup vocals on one of the songs on our last record that we released. So it's all mutual respect, and those dudes have been killing it for years. So it's a lot of respect, love.
This is sort of proof to me that you can't really pigeonhole Collective Soul, because I have seen you guys now on a festival with Hailstorm and Sammy Hagar. I've seen you guys on the same stage as the Scorpions, and I've seen you guys out there on your own. I've seen you with, just about anything you could think of. It's
the one that surprises me the most about Collective Soul, because we've done it. I agree with you. We've been all over the place.
Yeah.
So we can kind of make it work with the one that gets me, and they're some of my heroes. The first time Metallica played in South Africa, we opened for them, and
wow.
we did the tour with them, and and in my head I'm like, this totally doesn't fit, but I don't give a shit. Like I'm so excited to just share the stage, but like actually just being able to stand on the side stage and watch James Hetfield just do his thing, like that was like a treat. So to your point, yeah, we can kind of run the gamut of types of artists that we can play with.
Well, that's what's tremendous. That's what you guys just can fit on any bill. That's really tremendous and helpful. And I think later in the summer you're going out with Better Than Ezra and Tonic for more shows, maybe more bands that fit into whatever the 90s thing. But another great couple of bands you guys are going out with. So this is a loaded summer for you guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. we're ready to go.
Well,
Um,
what does this say? Because, for you guys, for your brother Ed, and for Will, and you guys have been doing this. We're nearing the 30-year mark. Not to date anybody, but you guys have created some pretty tremendous musical fusion together. What is it about that three, you guys that have been around, now the longest, that is able to keep this machine running with consistent new music, top build touring? I mean, you guys, there's something about the chemistry that you guys have, and what can you put your finger on it? What is it about you original three that keep this thing rolling like you do?
they just do what I say.
Perfect.
I'm kidding. I'm totally in all seriousness. I'm just joking. In all seriousness, having the history that we had, like Will's father in our small town where we grew up, his dad owned a recording studio, and Ed is 9 years older than Will and I. That's where he learned he got his studio engineer chops. And he was learned his way around the studio and Will's dad's studio. So recording music, and then it's just like this hometown knit thing. Like I've known Will as long as I've known anybody. Like they grew up just down the street. So there's that kind of thing. And then it really is like just the shared passion for music. That's our priority aside from our family and friends and life, but music is the thing that really ties it together, and we enjoy it, and we enjoy playing it together, and for the most part, most times we enjoy each other. So,
yeah. Well, it's funny because I always picture Ed's 9 years older than you. I always picture him because I know he's like this huge eclectic music fan. Like I saw it was that festival you guys played here in Kansas City, Rock Fest, and I was like watching Sammy Hagar, and he's like, I just look, he's in the crowd just in front of me, I mean just rocking out. So I'm picturing you guys growing up together in Georgia, and him forcing you to listen to Cheap Trick records or something. And what was the relationship like between you two growing up?
I wasn't forcing. It was weird, since he was so much older, it would be I just saw these records in the house. So they'd be Dream Police by Cheap Trick, or another one you mentioned, Sammy, heavy metal soundtrack. Sammy had this heavy metal song on there, and for me, it was I lived in my own record store, and I was just say 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, and my brother's 15, 16, and he's out playing basketball or playing music or doing something. Had zero relationship with him at that point. I didn't really know I just didn't know any better. But I knew there was some cool music in the house, so that's how I learned that we literally had similar tastes, and it was so much of it was due because of what he was bringing home. So we bonded on all of that stuff, and it was not. It was a natural, organic bond of similar taste in music. It wasn't a forced thing. So that was definitely a benefit of having an older brother that was into music, and that was his absolute passion.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, Ed's looking good these days, man. He cut the hair down a little bit. He looks good. He doesn't look 9 years older than you guys. He's looking good, and he's always been a great frontman, underrated frontman, I think.
I totally agree. He's really honed that craft, and that's not an easy thing to do. When you got to engage with a crowd and make it work like that, and sing, and I think the short of it, he does a great job.
Yeah,
he is looking good. He stays active. His spirit is still that 22-year-old kid that just wants to play music and do his thing.
Absolutely. Well, Dean, we got to talk about the new EP you guys have out. It is called Half and Half, where you did a couple covers and a couple originals. What was kind of the genesis for doing this? I thought, this is coming off of your Blood album from 2019, which was critically and certainly fan acclaimed. What did you just kind of want to get back in the studio and crank a couple tunes out? Of course, the one I love by REM, Opera Star, Neil Young and Crazy Horse, great stuff, and two really good originals. Man, what was kind of the antithesis for going back in the studio?
Well, we wanted to have something like that out. We wanted to release it on Record Store Day. You put it on the vinyl and celebrate that thing. So we had been playing the one I love on as a cover on the live set for about a year, and we loved it. It's so much fun. And so when we decided we wanted to do this thing and did the half and half idea, half cover songs and a half original, We were like, that's an obvious choice. We love REM; they're heroes of ours. We're going to do that. And then the Neil Young, the opera star thing came. We keep a turntable in the back of the bus and play vinyls back there, and we all kind of collect them, and Ed really does. But I want to say we were in Spokane, Washington. We found this record shop, and Ed had been looking for this Neil Young, the one that Opera Star's on forever, and he found it, and we're just like totally loving it, listening to it. And when we decided to do the half and half thing, we all were like, that's the one. We can have fun with this thing, and it's just kind of a nod and a respect, appreciation to a couple of our heroes.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, REM, another Georgia band. So there's that connection. Athens, Georgia, which I didn't realize that, because I have a lot of friends in Athens, and I've been to some Georgia Bulldogs games down there. But man, Athens, Georgia, which is not far from where you guys grew up, is just it is like a mini Austin with regards to this crazy music scene, a lot of history, and it's just a really cool place. Like, a lot of people don't really talk about that. Atlanta, down into Athens, but it's really good stuff. Yeah.
That's a great way. It is kind of like a mini Austin. Yeah. It will stay that way because it doesn't have the infrastructure to get as big as Austin.
Right.
It really is. I've always loved Athens. Love it. When I graduated high school, I had some buddies that went there, and when I'd get off the road and go visit, and it's so much fun. Yeah. And the musical history there is pretty rich.
It is. I'll tell you what, Dean, before we let you go, man, we got to hit you with our Final Four drum roll, which I guess would be better suited for Johnny Rab, but we're going to put you in the spotlight here. 4 quick questions, and you give us whatever comes to mind. Sound good? Okay, so you're from Atlanta. We talked about Athens, Georgia. Are you a sports fan at all? Do you cheer for any sports teams, and if so, which ones?
I do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Can I give a dissertation as to why?
Yeah, absolutely. This doesn't have to be. No, yeah, let us know. You got to tell the story if it's a.
Okay, I just got to. So I just grew up a basketball fan.
Okay.
And as a kid, yeah. So I'm a Georgia Tech college basketball fan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. That's honest. And if I went further, I would be a Lakers fan because not because of Lakers as much as I just loved Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
He's my favorite player.
That's awesome. Huge fan as well. Absolutely. We do a lot of sports here. So that's good. Georgia Tech, they went to the Final Four around 20 years ago, which I'm in Missouri, big Mizzou basketball fan. We have not yet cracked the Final Four, and I might be much older when that actually occurs.
Yeah,
so
Tech didn't go. They did it back when UNLV had the Larry Johnson, and
that was a great team too. Yeah,
oh, man, that was basically the NBA.
Stacey Augmon, yeah, Larry Johnson. That's insane. Okay, next question for you, Dean, is what is the last concert that you attended as a fan, kind of before the world went insane-o?
Oh God, that's a great. Oh, you know what it was? And I know it's the last one because it was right as the pandemic was kicking off, but there were no restrictions yet. So it was really early, and they hadn't done. There wasn't a shutdown, basically, is what I'm saying. But I went to the bathroom, and they would let people in the bathroom, and then they would spray down the bathroom in the theater.
Wow!
It was Bruno Mars.
Oh wow! Awesome. That's
It was amazing.
That's a great one. Mine should be Kiss. I was on my way to see Kiss March 12th,
that's awesome.
Except for it didn't happen, Dean. It was canceled while I was on my way to Tulsa, Oklahoma for Kiss and David Lee Roth. So that was not my last show. It was Aerosmith in Vegas about a month before that. So that's not bad either. Okay. We'll take that.
How was the Aerosmith show?
That was great. It was right before Joey Kramer came back on drums. So they had a different drummer, I think, from Hurricane Alice, I think, weirdly, from the 80s hair band. They had it filling in. Yeah. It was great, though. It was a great setup, and it was just, really enjoyed it.
How did they do that real quick?
How
did they do that was part of their residency, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think they did. They did 10 or 11 shows, and they spread it out by, a month here, a month there. So they probably did about 30, 40 shows in total. But
how did they do, what was their set like? Did they do just mix of all of it kind of thing?
Yeah, they alternated about 4 or 5 songs every show, it looked like, and then of course the classics could stay in there, but like they kind of they'd put in I Don't Want to Miss a Thing or some commercial hits, and they'd spread those out, but they play like Let the Music Do the Talking, like some really good.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. So yeah, it was that. So I've hopefully remember how to do this. Actually, this is crazy, but my next concert is in fact going to be here in Kansas City. You and Styx. Collective Soul will be the first band that I have seen on a stage in a year and like 15 months. Coming up June 25th. How about that?
Oh wow. That's amazing.
It's a lot of pressure. No pressure, Collective Soul.
They put the pressure on us. All right, good job.
No, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 3, what show or shows, I know you've played Dad quite a bit, so this answer may be maybe some kid shows, but what show or shows did you kind of catch up on during the pandemic on streaming and stuff like that?
Oh gosh. What did I watch? That's a great question.
I mean, any like Ozark, Cobra Kai, I mean, anything like that strike you?
Have you heard of, so I watched Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, good one. Hilarious.
That was funny. That was good. What other ones did I see?
I mean, other than, of course, Blue's Clues and I don't know what's even...
I watched, I did this actually not too long, well, a little bit back, but the Ted Lasso.
That's hilarious. Great show there.
I totally kicked right through that one.
Great show. Okay, final question for you, Dean, is give us just, I mean, I guess this is kind of a broad, this doesn't really lend itself to a couple of words, but I guess since, Woodstock was such a big deal, 1999, Collective Soul's on the bill, just give us some memories or a story or something crazy that you saw maybe at Woodstock 99.
So, Woodstock 99, that day, like, we played before all the mayhem happened.
That was the Limp Bizkit day, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that day. So we literally kind of walked in. We did our show. It was great. Lots of people, and it was fun, and all of that. And then we just kind of left, totally naive and ignorant to all the stuff going on. Got in the van, went back to the hotel, and then we're like reading on the back then you didn't have Twitter and stuff, but word was coming, phone calls were coming in, it was complete mayhem. I mean, oh my God. It was awful. And we were doing interviews after that, and I didn't have any kind of thing to say because ours was just we went in, played our show, and it was kind of great. We did our thing and then left and totally skirted around all of that mayhem. So I can't really, in all honesty, share too much of the debauchery. We didn't experience it.
Well, it was a great show nonetheless. You guys had a great set, and it was early in the day, so you got in, got out. That's the mark of a true veteran band that gets in, plays their set, and gets out, and has no story to tell at all. Now, that's the best story of all right there.
It's not a great story, but it's honest.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a great blabbermouth headline there, Dean. We'll forgive you for that. No, dude, thanks so much for hopping on with us, man. I hope everybody will go to the website, collectivesoul.com. You can get all the tour dates for everything you guys got going on this summer. And, of course, the EP is half and half. Hope everybody will go pick that up on vinyl. That's the way it's meant to be. For Collective Soul, Dean, we'll see you here in Kansas City in just a couple weeks, my friend. Can't wait to do it.
Cool. Thanks, Clint. Nice to talk to you.
You bet. You too, sir.